Theater. This is where an actor or an actress may work. A theater. School. School. This is the name of a building in which a teacher may work. Teacher usually works in a school. Yeah, school. Laboratory. Laboratory. We can also say laboratory. Laboratory. This is where a scientist works. This is where a scientist works. A restaurant. Restaurant, again, it's a building. These are all buildings. A farm is a building, an enclosed space. Office is a building. Theater, school. They are all buildings, but each have a specific purpose. And each building has specific people who work in them. So again, school, we have teachers. Laboratory of scientists. Restaurant, you'd have the waiter and waitresses who serve food. Waiter, waitresses work in restaurants. Next, you have construction site. Construction site. This could be both inside but also outside, because here we have builders building towers, office spaces, schools, laboratories. They are building the building itself. Construction site. This is where buildings are made. Builders work here. Yeah? Builders work in construction sites. And finally, you have hospital. Hospital. This is where we go when we are sick. And of course, here we have the doctor and nurse. They work in a hospital. They work in a hospital. So we've been talking about different buildings, different workplaces, and the specific people who work in these buildings. Let's review and now go through an exercise that matches these as well, okay? It'll be a more of an official exercise. So here's an example. A businessman works in an office. A businessman works in an office. And this is the structure we'll be using. Works in an office. Let's see if we can get this. Here we go. Businessman works in an office. Okay. Number one, a nurse works in a, do you remember? Where does the nurse work? In what building does the nurse work in? I will give you two choices, okay? Is it a hospital or a farm? Where does the nurse work? A hospital or a farm? Yeah. A nurse works in a hospital. A nurse works in a hospital. So repeat after me. A nurse works in a hospital. So again, same structure. Yeah, same structure. Okay, nurse here, hospital. Okay. Number 2, farmer. Farmer tends to the land to grow fruits, vegetables, and crops. Where does the farmer work? Where does the farmer work? Good. A farmer works, we usually say a farmer works on a farm. A farm isn't just inside, it's also outside, right? They cultivate, they tend to the land. Land is outside as well. So we say the farmer works on a farm. Yeah, the farmer, put it right here. The farmer works on a farm. And please write these down. Yeah, the farmer works on a farm. Usually if it's a building, it's inside. We say in. So the businessman works in an office. The nurse works in the hospital. But the farm, it's outside. So we have to use a different preposition. It's not in, say on, works on the farm, okay? Okay, sorry about that. Let's continue on. Okay, next one, number 3, scientist. Scientist. Where does a scientist work? What is the building called? A laboratory. A laboratory. And so nurse, we had hospital. Farmer, we had farm. And scientist, we have laboratory. Okay. Number 4, waiter or waitress for a female. Waiter. Where does a waiter work? Where does a waiter work? Good. A waiter works in a restaurant. A waiter works in a restaurant. A restaurant is where people go in order to eat food. It's usually a little bit expensive, but it's a nice way to maybe celebrate for a birthday or some type of holiday. A restaurant. Okay. Next one, teacher. Teacher. Where does a teacher work? What is the building called? Good. A teacher works in a school. Teacher works in a school. Okay. Number 6, builder. Builder. This is similar to farm, in which a builder may not only work inside a building, but also outside. And so we might structure the sentence a different way. But where do you think